Howdy.
For you, did turn on for me yet? Oh, there we go. All right.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Canadians don't say howdy.
No, you have to say howdy.
Howdy?
Me?
That's how we start
Howdy.
every stream. You start it with a howdy.
Still trying to get my
Channel my inner big Tex.
All right, there we go. All right. Well, welcome to another live stream. This time from 3 separate locations. Now we have Spite in here, which I think is so cool, man. Spite's very first live stream. We actually we called and asked his mom. She said it was okay. She
What's
said
your mom's
to make
name?
Sure, nothing weird happens, nothing bad. Everyone be very cool. No curse words on this Christian live stream, or else we'll get Spite in trouble. Okay.
I feel like we're doomed already.
We can't ask Spike because he'll probably tattle without even knowing about it to his mom. We don't want that, and then he'll never be allowed back on.
What's your mom's name?
What was that?
What's your mom's name?
I feel like if we dive down that rabbit hole, we're going to end up having some issues. Jason's
do have a
going to
mom,
sit over
though.
there in his hotel room and do whatever internet sleuthing he does.
Well, here's
Try
the
and get
thing.
a permission slip
This
signed.
is a charity for people who don't have moms, Spite. You lucky.
Yeah, you should honestly feel grateful
You
that
just
you do have a
fucking with
mom.
your mom over there, freaking so lucky. Anyway, so I'm so happy that you came and helped out, man. It meant a lot to me. I know it meant a lot to David and Shay as well. If you guys didn't know in the chat, which you should, but if you don't, that's fine too. Spite actually flew on a one-way ticket out to Arkansas, which is one of my favorite things. They flew out to Arkansas and picked up the Raspberry Buffet, which is a 1987 Goldwing Aspen Cave in two-tone raspberry. It's like mauve and pink or something.
It just really
Or something
depends
pink.
on where you look in the sun. Like not at the sun, but like how the sun's shining on the Goldwing. Don't look at the sun.
So this is a Goldwing that I bought.
Wine red. Isn't Honda's deal? It's the wine red, the
Is
raspberry
it wine
or something
red?
like that.
That's the most 80s name for a color I've ever heard in my life. Wine
The
red.
that the 2007 919 came in was Cherry Glory Red. That was the official name from Honda. Was
Cherry Glory Red? Oh, I knew a girl like that too, bud.
I think Honda needs to, for 2024, introduce Raspberry Buffet as a color.
Well, I have it from a good source that Honda literally wants nothing to do with this.
It's true. We came up in a business meeting at Honda.
Yeah, no, it's
and
come up, and they're like,
they
"Oh
said,
yeah." No,
Brapstar Garage
they
is a
won't.
no-go.
That's all right, though. That's all right. This is the
should take that
very
as a
first
badge of
Goldwing
honor,
that I ever
man.
got. What's that, Spike?
I said you should take that as a badge of honor. Somebody over at Honda was spending enough time watching you to say, no, we will not work with him.
They don't, and I found out, and I'm not even trying to have a big head about this because I'm not getting anything out of it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I know it from who he might even be in here. We have a very good friend. We have friends in every industry, because there are always people who've worked their way into high positions, but they're secretly deviants. And they always kind of gravitate towards us. So we always end up knowing somebody high up everywhere, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, we watch you guys." I'm like, "Really, you?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, so. Also, and I won't say his name because I don't want to get him in trouble. So we have a very good friend who's a bigwig in the motorcycle industry in California, who's like, "Oh yeah, no, you come up in the boardroom, like they're very aware of what you do. They're very aware of the videos." And, and then I heard of someone who was like, "Yeah, it's just no." They're like, "No fucking way," like ever.
Does his name start with M? I guess it.
Yeah, no, you've met him, David. But when it was funny though, when I bought the first Goldwing, which was the Raspberry Buffet, that was it's always weird that sort of like that group thing. You know, you ever see that where it's like you do something and then you see somebody else do something, you know what I mean? But you're right at the cusp. And I had, old luxury vehicles have always been something I was interested in. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna get a Goldwing, And I just became obsessed with the idea. And I kind of like, wow, they cost literally nothing. You buy one for so cheap. And then I bought one and I rode it home and it was just like at the right time. Everyone was like, oh yeah, I've been looking at those. Everyone kept saying, everyone would be like, oh, I've been looking at those. Well, no shit, man, me too. And then Fortnite did that video that did very, very well. And then all the videos that I did on the Goldwing just killed it. You put out these videos and every video is getting like 500,000 views.
Your audio's breaking up, Josh.
Because I think it's so great. Just at the time, it was just like during COVID, people had a little bit of extra money from stimulus checks and they're like looking for something to buy.
Josh.
Huh?
Your audio's breaking up.
Your audio's breaking up. I don't know.
No, your audio's breaking up.
I mean, the Goldwing basically is just Wanderlust personified, more or less, right? You can go out. I mean, I even took it off road yesterday when I was goofing around filming. I was like, you know what? Let's. I'm at a dirt pit. Let's see how it does. And
how'd it do?
Okay. It did fine. Honestly, the thing that blows me away is how easy it is to stand on. The pegs and the bars are in the right spot for somebody my size, 6'4", to just be able to stand up on it like an adventure bike. It was really comfortable. The ground clearance left something to be desired, but
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Is it fine now?
Yeah.
I had a good idea for the camp out that involves a Goldwing. I think we should take a big, huge glass box, put Shelby in there with a Goldwing and no metric tools.
That sounds like a way to torture a sim.
And tell him to fix it. Go on, Shelby. You can do it.
Like, have you ever tortured a sim until it died? That's how you kill Shelby in the sim world.
Tango, thank you, man.
He's got to stop telling people how much he hates Goldwings.
Oh, no, he does not like working on them. Luckily, they're actually very easy to work on. There's like taking off little plastic pieces can sometimes be a pain because you break pieces. But it's really, once you know how to take off the plastic, they're very, very, very simple to work on. With the exception being doing the stator on the old ones, which you have to do not a full engine removal, but you basically have to loosen the motor mounts and kind of tilt it to get the stator out because it's on the top. But that bike specifically that is up for raffle right now has a stator that's working just fine. And we did all the maintenance of that. Like I rebuilt the final drive. I greased all the splines. I rebuilt the suspension. I put new timing. It's got brand new timing belts, new spark plugs. Like I did every piece of maintenance on that bike. The carbs were clean. All the cables were lubed. Like that. It's funny because people look at the bike, and I make my jokes about it. Spike does too. But the bike is in perfect working order. I would ride it across the country in a heartbeat with like no questions asked. Like I wouldn't even check the oil.
What if the person lives across the country and they ask you to bring it to them?
I could probably figure it out. That doesn't bother me at all.
Where even are you now?
Me?
No, not you. Josh.
Oh.
You know what? I don't know. It's some town. I don't even know the name of it.
Got a hotel.
Honest. Yeah, some hotel. But yeah, that Goldwing was the first one I ever bought. That's the one that's up on the raffle creator right now. And it's like I got it during COVID. And I think I was far from the only person feeling like this, but I just, I just felt like the whole world had been shut down for me, and eventually I just had enough, and I was like, I can't take this anymore. I'm just going to leave. And I didn't really have a bike that was suitable for it. not that you can tour on anything, but I went out, I bought the Goldwing for like, a month's rent was about what it cost. And it took me across the country and back, and it was just like one of the best feelings in the world after feeling like I was trapped to be able to jump on a bike like that and just leave without much planning. And I didn't plan anything. I just was like, okay, I want to drive across the country, but I was like, I still have obligations, so I was like, I can't drive across the country the long way, but I can drive across the short way. And I knew I wanted to drive straight through, which I did. It was really, really amazing. I felt really good, and that was just such an amazing trip, man. And I got to see Niagara Falls, and on the way back, I rode through a tropical storm, and just like it was so much fun, man. And a bike like that is so good to do it on because the stakes are so low. So let's say you're out on a bike like that. By the way, like I said, 100% of this goes to Forgotten Angels. So if you want to buy a raffle ticket for this right now, it's a 1 in 160 chance.
That's the
That's your
best odds
chances
we've
right now.
had yet.
So that's 1 in a. I'm not breaking up, am I? That's
No,
1
you're
in
fine.
160. Like that's pretty crazy. That's what your odds are to win the Raspberry Buffet and a one-way ticket if you want it.
And there's 431 people watching right now. So,
Yeah.
and there's 126 people who have entered. You said
168.
168. I
Yeah,
got
there's
the numbers.
168 people, 1 in 168 right now. Well, some people have more than that because they bought multiple tickets, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hey, Spike,
So 1 in 168.
Spike, now that you've driven the
um,
bike for a while, what do you think your chances are that you'll eventually get a Goldwing for yourself?
Man, so there's one up in Georgetown, just north of Austin here, and I know the guy. He actually sold me the van that's sitting right there for $1,000 with a blown head gasket. But he's got a 7, and it's an 84, I think. Maybe it's an 87. I don't remember. I don't think he knows because he's got all the plastic stripped off of it, and it ran a year and a half ago. And he's willing to just let me have it. So
Let you have. I was about
I'm
to say, don't pay nothing for that.
no, God no. So I'm thinking about just going up, throwing it in the back of my van and driving it back here, dumping it in my garage, and wondering what the hell I did with my life.
So I heard you were talking about like the carbs being a pain in the ass. On those, they're not because they're
Really?
all very easy to get to. Yeah, they're all on the outside
Nice.
of the engine. On the 1500s, they're kind of hard to get to and they're kind of hard to pull out. But on those bikes, people get scared because there's 4 separate carbs. But either look up how to tune them with a vacuum tuner, which you can buy, which is a good skill to have. I watched Joe do it once, and I'm fairly confident I could repeat the process. And then you just once you rebuild them, which is not hard. There's just some seals and new floats, and not even new floats half the time. And it's fairly easy. Carburetors are not a mystery. They just are a mystery because there's some small parts in there and they look scary, and they're always a problem because there's so many tiny passages. So they become a problem. So they take on this sort of like mythical quality, like, oh, once your carbs are messed up, you're in for a nightmare. And I don't blame you for thinking that because that's what most people think, but it's just not the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I spent some time trying to rebuild one on my DRZ, but that one was just too far gone. I think part of the problem was I bought the bike from a meth head. So at least that's my words, not his.
That's how I got my first motorcycle.
That comes with its own set of difficulties.
So
I just
when you come to a
replaced it.
carb, it just depends on what kind of carb it is. So was it a constant velocity carb, or was it a flat slide, or
It
because
was
there's
a
different things
Mikuni
that can
constant
go
velocity.
wrong. Yeah, there's different things that can go wrong. Like your CV carb, you could be trying to diagnose it and be having all these problems, and it could be a tiny pinhole in the diaphragm that you don't even see. Yeah, so it's like you just get to know what different carbs do and how they feel bad, and then it can be pretty easy to diagnose. Literally every person I know, and I don't know carbs perfectly, trust me, but every person I know that does like no carbs, like they can listen to an engine run for about a half a second, they're like, oh, it's this. and it's not magic. It's just that there's only so many things that can go wrong with carburetors. Like
Right.
they're really not that complicated. I know it seems like they are, but well, all you got to do is like make the effort to start learning how they work and working on them and stuff like that. And then like you do that for a little while, and you'll be like, carburetors hold no more mysteries for me. So
Well, maybe with that pep talk, I'll just go up and pick up that Goldwing as soon as this one rolls out. I need this thing gone because it's taking up too much room in my house.
dude, Tango just bought 5 raffle tickets. What are you going to do if you win it? You're going to fly down to Florida? Tango, if you win it, I'll ride back with you.
I want to come.
California.
What?
Yeah. If he wins it, I'll ride back to him with California. If he freaking decides, he might go like, I'm not going down to get that.
I love that.
Texas. I'll ride back from Texas with.
Spite Tree Army. I love that.
Yeah, I was so happy you agreed to do this, man. So that was your first time flying out and just riding a random bike back, huh?
Yep, first time. And your interesting rebuilt battery left me high and dry.
You know, you gotta
Okay,
roll the dice
so,
sometimes, okay?
you
That's
know-
what makes life fun.
You said you have to, in one of your videos, Spite, you said you have to go out of your way to get a rebuilt battery.
I
Not
don't know
me, I
where
know
you guys
people.
come up with them.
No,
They're just, I mean, you can rebuild a battery. You
there-
just put new plates in
there
it.
is a closer
and-
rebuilt battery store to our house than an auto parts store, and you want to know why? We live in the ghetto.
You know how much a rebuilt battery costs?
$10.
Spike.
Yeah, that battery was 14 times more expensive.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see,
You
you,
fool.
you got played.
You know how many times I would have replaced that battery before you had to put that one in there? Like 6 times, dude. And I'm like, I don't care. I'll just put a new one in it. I do it all the time.
I've never seen a battery that dead on a battery tester, though. It had 0.2% battery life left in it, and
Ooh.
it said damaged, and red lights were going off, and the
Yeah,
thing was
yeah.
I like that.
no, do not put this battery back into service.
I do like being
What-
the best
what
at something.
It's still fixable.
Everything's fixable. The question is whether or not it's worth it.
So what happens to them is they have plates in them, and the plates will get loose and one will fall into each other, which is why
Mhm.
you create that problem. Yeah, it's no big deal, man. You just you put a brand new battery in it. That's crazy to me. Wow.
Yeah, no,
So-
the nice Duracell in there.
Yeah,
Whoever's
so
coming
like-
Yeah,
down
so
to
for-
get it, or whoever gets it next, it's in
You
good
play
shape.
mignon every night. Freaking
God,
out
dude,
here
I
taking
wish.
champagne bubble baths, brand new batteries. Wow. Okay. I didn't know it was like
Spend your
that.
money where you spend your time. I spent a lot of time in that saddle the last 2 weeks. So
Yeah, well, yeah, you know me, man. I'll throw anything in there. Vegetable oil, fucking. No, I heard you can. Now I'm researching that you can run used motor oil and you can use it as diesel fuel.
What?
that's running vegetable
No,
oil
no.
from a fryer.
Nope. No, used motor oil.
Really?
Literally, so what you do is you strain it through like a sheet to get all the shit out of it. You let it sit, so the water, because there's always water in it, that will collect on the bottom. Drain that out. You mix it with like 10% gasoline, and sometimes you don't even have to do that. And that's just to thin it out, and yeah, your truck will run on it. Free gas.
What were you saying about ghetto?
On that.
What?
That sounds
It's
ghetto.
technically tax fraud
Yeah.
if you do that, because you're supposed to pay tax on every gallon of gas for you moving your vehicle down the road.
You can
But yeah,
get some
just
black
go use
market
motor
gas
oil.
sales.
yeah, it's kind of a messy process, but I guarantee someone in the chat knows about it. They sell sock filters
Well-
to do it.
You can either pay money and have it clean, or do it cheap and get a little dirty.
Yeah, free gas, man. Are you kidding me? We keep on picking up bikes. We're gonna do that. We're gonna be like, dude, we're Forgotten Angels, free gas. Going out to pick up these donation motorcycles. See, handful of Honda, but runs used motor oil in his 12-valve Cummins. Oil and stale junkyard gas. See, I love it, man. Got an I-86 Volvo running on it. Yep. Boom. Done it. Love it. Free gas. Life hack. So thanks for buying tickets, guys. This is for a 1987 Aston Cade, a star on the channel. It was just a weird time and place. I really like bikes like this because obviously someone might just win this bike, for $25. But the cool thing about these bikes is they offer you such an amount of freedom to see America. Yeah, I know not everybody here watching is from America, but if you are, and you're like, you feel stuck, you feel like you can't get out, you feel like I'm like, man, for like literally, it's not free, but for less than $3,000, you can have a reliable vehicle that will take you everywhere. It will take you everywhere, like across wherever the hell you want to go at, 50 miles a gallon, with all the room for all your shit and out in the open, and it'll be comfortable while you do it. It's just like, what an amazing machine for so cheap. And they won't be cheap forever, but I don't really ever see them. I can see like really nice examples getting expensive, like if it's like perfect. But most of them aren't. They're just like dinged up and they've been used and run, and there's not a whole lot of like concourse level fucking Goldwings running around out there. Mithrath, my man, a former winner there in the chat. You guys know it's real. There are winners in the chat who have won this. And of course, all of this is going to donate to benefit Forgotten Angels. Which, if anybody doesn't believe it, Spite has now been down to the compound and hung out and seen it with your own eyes. It's real.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's awesome down there. I've had so much fun at the camp out, and I've been following what's been going on with you and Forgotten Angels and David, Cindy, and all that, and I've been wanting to get involved for a while, and I'm glad I can finally do it.
Yeah, we're grateful for the support too, and your friendships, right? That's what really the camp out is all about. Also, is relationships and friendships, which is what Forgotten Angels is all about. Trying to help some of these boys move on in a trajectory in life that is better than what was already started for them. So, all the friendships mean a lot to Cindy and I. The support that you're giving us, going out and riding shade trees, motorcycle all the way back home. You are a trooper, definitely. You're crazy, but a trooper.
It's nothing, man. It was honestly, aside from the battery snafu, which happened literally 13 miles away from 9 miles away from an auto zone. Yeah. It was mostly comedy, and I was having a ton of fun doing it.
If you'd like to get into a way worse situation, we got you.
You know what? I may just take you up on that.
Well, dude, me and David, like, some of this stuff that we've been in it feels weird to say it now because because I would look back and be like, oh, it was fine. Nothing bad happened. Whatever. But, I think that the scariest, not the scariest one, but probably the most stressful one was somewhere in New Mexico, and the shovel head just died. I had to pull off the side of the road, no start, and it starts raining hard. It's also pitch black, like in the middle of nowhere. There's the only thing going by on the highway is 18-wheelers, and they're all going 100 fucking miles an hour, and that's it. And there's nothing. And it starts raining. I don't know if you've ever been out wet. Well, you live in Texas. Well, it starts raining. What happens after that is you start getting flooding. The water has nowhere to go. And then there's lightning. And there is more lightning. We live in the lightning capital of the world. I've never seen this much lightning in my life.
That was crazy.
And it's just coming down
for you, man.
Every few seconds. And the rain is thick. You can barely see through it. And I have the bike completely unpacked, and we've got the wiring, like wires stripped. It's soaking wet. Phones and flashlights with Shelby on the phone, and Shelby's got a wiring diagram. And we're like, and so you would be like, and I laugh too. Like, I think it's funny. But at the time, I was like, "Oh shit, this is pretty serious. Like this is a very dangerous situation. Like this could
Yeah.
be horrible, horribly bad. Like all my clothes, like just like all the tool rolls all open, just with like pouring rain on it. The whole bike's like freaking. We ended up like putting tape on it, but it was just like the weird like aluminum dryer tape and stuff. It was weird. Dave, I don't know. I know you've done so much more insane stuff than that, but I was like, I look back on that sometimes, it doesn't even seem real. I'm like, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, halfway through that situation, I could hear my mom's voice. Choose your friends better.
This is before you had to start pushing me to start.
You know what? I should have listened to her and left you in Albuquerque.
Oh damn, 2 a.m. He didn't have a diagram. That was all from in his head. He was walking us through the wiring diagram.
That's right. And with the sketchiest motorcycle on the planet, you drove past the first hotel. I wanted to crack your head open.
I thought we could do better than that one.
Best Western was the best thing that I had seen in about 50 miles. And you drove right past it in a monsoon. I'm like, what's the matter with you?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was looking for like a Radisson.
We ended up in a Comfort Suites, man.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. We ended up in pretty bad hotel.
At least Comfort Suites
so
has
many
a hot
other ones like
breakfast.
that.
Yeah, really.
I mean, there was a million. Dude, we ended up freaking, like, I ended up staying, we broke down again in Oklahoma, and this guy freaking stopped, didn't know him from Adam. Like, I can't make this shit up. Dude, this happened to me in, I was in Georgia, almost in Tennessee, on my FXR when I blew that up, and I broke down in the middle of nowhere. Like, no cars. Like, where you stand on the side of the road and, like, a car will go by, like, every fucking hour, you know? No cell service. And I freaking like have to stand on climb like halfway up a tree to get one bar. And I called an Uber, right? You believe that? There was actually an Uber. There was a guy there. He gets there. I was like, holy shit, dude, I can't believe there's an Uber out here. Like, I got like, there's nothing out here. He goes like, oh yeah, I'm the only Uber driver within like 100 miles. Like, it's just me. And I was like, okay.
Grief.
Yeah. And the FXR was totally blown up, like it was fucked. So I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to get a U-Haul. Go to the U-Haul store. Their system's down. I ended up having to call some, like, because I tried to call the Uber driver again because he dropped me off there, but he wasn't answering. He was like, yeah, I'm just off now. Like, I'm not working anymore. And I had to call, like, look in the yellow pages outside this place, this town of like 10 people, for the taxi service, and I call that, and it's just like somebody's house. They're just like, hello? I hear kids screaming in the background. I'm like, yeah, can you give me a ride to this other place to budget rent a truck? And they just show up in like a regular car. They took me there. I got a budget rent a truck. I had to jump through all these hoops to get back there, and I finally get back there with this, and the only thing they had was like this fucking 30-foot box truck. And I finally get back there. After spending all this time, after breaking down the middle of nowhere, going through all this, is like a fucking 6-hour ordeal to get this truck back there with like 3 different cabs and all over 3 different places. And I finally get back there, and I realized I can't get that fucking bike up the ramp by myself. Like, it's literally impossible. And I don't give up easy, you know? I really don't. And I'm just going like, I can't get the bike. I went through all of this. Like, I went through all of this, and I can't get this fucking bike up the ramp. And I just sat down and on the edge of the truck, and I'm just sitting there like, and I sat down there for like 30 seconds. Some dude pulls up on a motorcycle, and I look up, and he goes, "Are you Shade Tree Surgeon?" I swear to God, in the middle of and I was like, "Why, yes, I am. Would you like to help me push this bike in the back of the truck?" And he did. He helped me put the bike in the back of the truck, and I freaking took off. It was pretty. So that same thing happened in Oklahoma with David. So no one else was there for that one, so I could be. Sounds like I'm making it up. Literally, there's freaking middle of nowhere Oklahoma, and some dude rolls up. The only vehicle we had seen on the road besides an 18-wheeler and ever, out there. And he just pulls up and he goes, "You Shade Tree Surgeon?" I ended up staying at his house for 2 days, like half fucking pulled the whole bike apart, slept in his couch. It was very cool. And then David, who should have just left me, didn't. We ended up like hooking back up and finishing the trip together. What a cool trip, man! That's really like one for the ages. We'll have to do it again. We'll just go back up to Portland and just find even worse bikes this time.
That's not possible. Your shit broke down like 8 times.
Hey, I made it all the way back to the Dirty Shame. Theoretically, it would still run now. Theoretically.
Tell you what won't leave you high and dry.
The
KLR
Goldwing.
650.
Oh, wait.
KLR 650.
Yeah, I've never been stranded on a Goldwing, man. I've had so it's broken down on me, but it was just a loose connection that I fixed. It was like a loose connection on the fuel pump. And so I fixed it. That's the only time I've ever had a Goldwing leave me stranded. And then the only other time one of my Goldwings was broken down and needed a tow, the only Goldwing that I've ever had that ever needed a tow was when Shelby was riding it. And he broke it. The fuel pump gave out on the bridge.
Perfect timing, too.
That has a fuel pump in it? I thought carbureted bikes were just gravity fed.
Not Goldwings, they got fuel pumps. A lot of carbureted Hondas have fuel pumps.
Yeah, all my
'cause they
carbureted
got
experience.
They're not gravity fed because the tank is underneath the seat, so there's no gravity.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a few bikes that are like that.
My only experience with the carbureted bike is a DRZ 400. Although I'm gonna go drive up to Oregon and get another one for $800.
And so the Goldwing that you have too, that has a low fuel life. I think you get like 50, 60, 70 miles or something after the low fuel light comes on.
I never took it down that low because I was worried that it might not work. So, I always fill it up at 1 bar on the dash.
Yeah, man. That Goldwing's a pretty amazing motorcycle, and that can be your motorcycle for $25. But it's not just a motorcycle. But wait, there's more. In addition to being an amazing motorcycle that will take you all over this country at 50 miles a gallon, give you thrills and spills and amazing adventures, open up vistas previously unknown to you, open up experiences in your mind that will forever live with you as long as your mortal mind is alive in this world. You'll take these experiences with you to the grave, and they will enrich your life. This Goldwing can do all that for you for only $25. In addition to that, you also get the first adventure if you so choose. You would like to choose your adventure right away, I will buy you a one-way plane ticket to Austin, Texas to pick up this Goldwing, and you can have your very first adventure on it home. Will it make it? I would guarantee it. 100% guarantee. I put my word on it, my stamp on it. If it doesn't make it, you'll never see someone who forgets that they know you so fast. I'll be like, who? Shade Tree, who? Never heard of him. Never heard of him, man. That's its own adventure. You have to overcome feelings of abandonment, of loss, of anger, of acceptance. Eventually,
Go through all stages of grief in one adventure.
Yeah.
And if they play your cards right, maybe Spite will follow you home on a KLR.
Yeah.
To make sure that Duracell doesn't go south.
Wait, can I buy a raffle ticket? I want you to follow me home on a KLR.
When I last looked at it, it was less than 1 in 200 to get this. So it's like, this is the best odds we've had so far. And I'm waiting for someone in the chat to win it, because I think the first one we did, someone in the chat won it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I never like yelling at their name. Well, no, Spite, you got some fly knives to give away. So give us I'll be right back in a second. But I know you got some fly knives that they came in and said they would give us some stuff to give away. Which is exciting.
Yeah. So we've got a pair of pairs of sunglasses. These flying eyes these are the ones that I actually wear every time I go out on a motorcycle. Give you the short pitch as to why you want them, other than the fact that they're free, is they're designed to fit between your head and your helmet. So if anybody else is like me and they always ride with sunglasses, these are way more comfortable to ride in. And we've got two different styles here that we're going to give away. I don't know how y'all normally do the giveaways. I'm just here providing the things, and will mail them out. I guess I got to go get the cases that they come in because they come in nice cases. But however you guys want to give them away.
Usually we'll just be like whoever buys it next.
Okay.
Yeah, we aren't really particular about our giveaways. We're just like, hey, did you just buy a ticket? Like the next person, like, what's the value of the sunglasses?
These are each about 200 and something bucks. They
Okay.
they vary based on the frame.
All right, so if
each
someone
one is about
buys
220.
5 raffle tickets for $100, you get the glasses.
Sounds good to me. I'll check for the next person to do it.
So the next person to donate 5 raffle tickets, which is $100, but the glasses value is $200. So do you get both pairs of glasses, or is it just the one
I
pair?
figure we give them away twice because we got 2. So we let the first person pick whichever one they want. There's the kind of rounded ones here, and then these are the square frames like what I wear. We'll let them choose which one they want, and we'll.
Can you hold them
later
up to
on,
the
if you
camera a
guys
little
are
bit?
so inclined, we can give away another pair.
Hold them up to the camera a little bit closer, Spite.
Yeah. So this is basically like the pair I wear. I wear these Kingfishers here.
Yeah, your phone goes
these are-
sideways too.
Yeah, these are the ones that I wear every single time I'm out on a motorcycle. And I ran over, not this particular pair, because the folks at Flying Eyes actually wanted them back to put on their shelf of fame. I ran over a pair of these with a Lowrider ST, and one of the lenses popped out, but the frame was still intact after 730 pounds worth of American iron rolled over it.
That's funny because
So
once upon a time I wanted to roll over Josh with a lowrider ST.
Too fast, too slippery.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Turn the bike off when we're uphill. Thank you very much.
Oh no, David was trying to push start me, and I realized I had the kill switch.
Someone
I
bought
didn't tell him
tickets.
until we got back. To
Yeah, we won it. Stuart Hanley.
Stuart is the
Stuart, are you in the chat? You in the chat, Stu?
They do do prescription. I just found that out. Any Mad Drops. I don't think these are in prescription that he's giving away right now. So if you have a prescription, I don't think that this giveaway will include a prescription set of glasses. But if you don't wear prescription,
yeah, they do prescription frames. These are just this one is regular, normal eyeballs polarized, and then this one is just tinted.
Squid's on Squid. He's the winner.
where am I?
Sweet.
Obviously. I mean,
What state are you in, Squid?
Don't you have his information?
Um,
Don't you have like all their personal information?
I'd have to pull it up in Raffle Creator.
Oh, you have to actually
email.
put it on the
Yeah.
website.
Send us an email.
Yeah.
Or actually,
Yeah.
no. Spite's got the glasses.
Yeah.
him an
Send
email.
it. Send an email to
Yeah,
Spite. What's your email, Spite?
The email for the channel is spitescorner.biz, B-I-Z, @gmail.com. Send me an email. Tell me which one you want, and I'll mail them out.
So, I'm
Flipping
gonna,
the blue mule. Thank you, man.
so Spite.
Dude, he's been killing it, man. He's
Corner
flipping the
dot
blue mule. Used to live in Tampa.
biz at gmail.com.
Just dropped it in the chat so that y'all can blow up my email, and I can block you all.
So Ben Shapiro is Flip Ben?
Flipping the blue mule.
Yeah,
He's a great dude, man.
but is he
He
Ben?
said he
Is that
spent-
you, Ben?
He has spent $2,300 on raffle tickets
Ouch!
so far.
Wow,
Jeez.
he
So
has.
why don't you send him the? I don't know if he wears prescription, but send him the other pair of glasses. Flip is awesome, man.
All right.
No, I'm going to send Flip some boots too.
Okay, yeah. Well, shoot David an email and shoot Spite an email. If you shoot me an email, I'll get it, but I doubt that I'll actually look at my email.
Yeah, never email Josh. Always email me. I look at my email every single day. And that's shaylisi@brapstar.com. So don't ever.
I feel like the most efficient way to get in touch with Josh is carrier pigeon.
Yes. No, the
Just-
most
just
efficient
look
way to
for
get through to Josh is through me.
Yes, ask someone else. I've got message anxiety. I don't like to look at them. So
No,
I'm
me
bad at
too,
it.
but I just trained myself with the email. Like a carrier pigeon.
Don't dry heat. Doug says, "Don't see how much I've spent." The wife's listening.
Yeah.
We got you, bud. All right, I think we're gonna go 10 more minutes, and we'll pull a winner. We'll do an 8 o'clock winner. This is gonna be the closest one ever, man. If you haven't bought a ticket yet, it's a less than 1 in 200 chance of winning the Gold Wing and an adventure. And this is the first time we've all come together. This is your first official involvement in Forgotten Angels. I think it's so cool. It's so much fun.
Yeah, we really appreciate you.
Hell yeah, man. That was a ton of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Is this
always
where you
looking-
thought your motorcycle, your career in fun YouTube videos, was where you thought it would take you?
Well, I mean, I always pictured myself working on videos with Ryan from Fort 9 or maybe Ari and Zach. But you know what? I'm good. I'm good to work down here with y'all too.
Yeah, no, be your own boss. Tony, hey, Munkets, thank you so much, man. Good man. Nah, man, can't go work for Revzilla. You're just working for somebody else. You gotta be free, man. You gotta do your own thing.
Be
I don't have
free.
a boss.
Be free, Spite.
I don't have a boss.
I will say it is pretty cool to get a call and be like, "Hey, you want to go pick up this Gold Wing?" And to be like, "Yeah, sure, I got nothing going on. Let's get on a plane."
Dude, trust me, man. If anyone wants some advice out there, I'm gonna tell you this: never spend more than $2,000 on a motorcycle. Always buy used batteries, and that way you have enough money to be your own boss. If everyone wonders how I afford to do things, it's because I cut every single corner.
Oh yes, and also
then I cut those corners. Then I cut those corners until we have a perfect circle.
last piece of advice is always speak in extremes to save time.
Yeah.
You said you'll have enough money for what? Did you say a U-Haul?
Yeah. So you have enough money for a U-Haul.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
If you cut enough corners, then you have a circle, and a circle is a wheel. And they say time is a wheel, ever moving forward. And so if you do that, just like me, you'll move through this life very smoothly on this wheel that you created for yourself. And it can be a very beautiful thing, very liberating, very freeing, I think. So I think that's just, those are my 9 steps to success.
I can go a whole diatribe about Japanese philosophy on circles and triangles, but I'm going to save that for another time.
Well, I've never seen a triangle-shaped wheel, okay? That's why I cut corners. A triangle is nothing but corners for me to cut.
That's more or less the tail there. So I think you've got it figured.
Damn straight I do.
If you have enough triangles, you can have a star, which is what Josh is.
I like that. Anyway, so every single dollar, and I know I say this every time, but I say it because I mean it. Every single dollar that's spent on a raffle ticket, surely, yes, it's a chance to win. But that's not what it is. What it is if you ever spend money in raffle tickets, I want you to think about the sacrifice that you have to make in your life to do that, because it's important. Making a sacrifice to do something good is a noble thing. This is something I learned from David. When you talked to me about fasting, how sometimes you'll fast to show your respect for something, and that's a personal thing. I'm not trying to have you talk about it, but that really stood out to me a lot. And that was what made me start to think about, like, when you buy a raffle ticket or you spend money on charity, you should, even if you just had it extra and you're not even thinking about it, I think you should look around next time you go to spend that money again on something else. Let's say you bought $100 worth of raffle tickets, and you got that $100. That's fine. You got it. You're not worried about it. It's extra money. But what I think you should do is next time you go somewhere else and you're about to spend another $100 on something that you don't need, just don't do it. And that goes from just you not thinking about it and spending extra money to you making a real sacrifice in your life to help somebody else. And I truly think that you should do that. I try to whenever I spend some money and it's for Forgotten, I try to do that as well, because it just makes it more real, and it makes it even though it sounds like you're sacrificing twice, it makes it feel better. And it makes you realize that you are sacrificing a small comfort in your life for a very large comfort in somebody's life who has nothing.
Well, it means everything to us. Yesterday, I went to speak at a place called Marina Jacks in Sarasota, right on the water, to a yacht club. All these people rolled in Rolls Royces and Mercedes and blah, 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 blah. And I spoke for about 20 minutes. I answered questions for about 35 minutes. And I gave everybody a small card that had information about Forgotten Angels and a QR code so they could purchase a ticket if they wanted to support the mission. And what was amazing is everybody was like, oh my gosh, we want to help, we want to help, we want to help, and da-da-da. Not one ticket sold from anyone who came to the event, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak to people. If I affected anyone's heart even a little bit to understand what it is that we do and why we do it, I'm grateful. But right after that, I drove right back home, and we helped Christian move into his first apartment ever. We brought him items that were purchased from donations that come in through the raffles. We were able to give him a bed that came in from Costco. He has Christian is the one who received the car that was donated from Richard's son, Ben, at the Dirty Shame. He drives that was a Buick LeSabre.
Buick,
yeah. And so today, Cindy and I went and dropped more of the stuff off again today, and we're looking at this young kid who was shot up from his mom at 12 years old. Came to us came into our circle around 3 years ago. Didn't want to come to Forgotten Angels because he knew that he would get immediately thrown off because we have a no drug policy. But a year and a half later, he contacts us back. He has a tattered business card that Cindy gave him a year and a half earlier and says that he's been in rehab for 3 months. Can he come to Forgotten Angels? And so this is why I do what I do, and what everybody who is under the sound of my voice and everybody who knows about the work that we do supports you and Shay for the work that you guys tirelessly do to support our mission. That's what they're doing. They're saving kids' lives. I can't say it any more succinctly than that. They're really saving lives. Christian is a new person now with hope that things will be much better tomorrow because things were pretty good today. So I'm really grateful for what everybody does. That's my soapbox moment.
No, it's real.
No,
It's real.
That's really
Their
amazing.
lives will get changed.
Yeah, they really are.
Really shows you how amazing the biking community really
Yes.
is when you go to speak at yacht clubs and you don't get any donations, but then we speak about our cause to some bikers and we're like, you could win this motorcycle.
I just think it's
Yeah.
amazing too with everyone out there, and this is why, people say they can't change the world. I just don't find that. I used to think that was the case, and now I don't think that that's the case. We can affect the world in a really huge way with a very small amount of people. Between all of us, we have, what would we say, 400,000
Yeah.
people who have hit subscribe. But out of those people, the people who are active would be a much lower number, which is fine, but I would say the people who are genuinely active and keep up with everything that we do and are invested in this, we're talking about a number of people that's, I would say, under 20,000 who are really invested, active into everything between all of us. And I don't know if you guys disagree with me. I think that's a pretty accurate number between all three of us.
I think that's fair.
So I just want you guys to know, off of that many people, the amount of good that we've done to how many young men at Forgotten Angels, and so much more than that, because the amount of people that David and Cindy help on an everyday basis is wild. Like, when we were coming back from picking up a donation, David answered a phone call for a young woman who was just outside of a Walmart, had a kid, and immediately starts making phone calls and says, "Hey, call Cindy," and "Hey, this other thing." I mean, they get these calls every single day. So the amount of money that they spend on people who don't live on the property, I would say it's probably, I don't know, Dave, you have to tell me, it's probably much, much higher than they spend on people who are actually on the property.
Oh yeah.
Because they do so much with so many different people.
There's just so many people directly in our community and outside of our community that need help. So even if you're not changing the world, you're changing a lot of communities in your area, and that's really important too.
Well, that's the mission, to bring it into a multi-state level and to bring it outside of the state of Florida, is the amount of people that Dave and Cindy and all of you guys have helped here just in this little corner of Florida. It's insane. It's insane. And just with, I can't tell you, you look at what a big charity, obviously it would be great if Forgotten Angels was a big charity, but you look at what a big charity does with $1 million. I mean, that money is dust in the wind in minutes for some of these very large charities. I'm not saying they don't do good stuff, but the money that we've raised for Forgotten Angels, that money has gone so much farther than government programs and big charities. All this stuff has affected so many more lives. And I think that we're just kind of cresting up on, we're obviously, this raffle, we're trying to hit 1 million, but since we started doing raffles, I think we've come close to also doing $1 million in the past 2 years. And that's off of 20,000 people that are changing the world. And that's all of you guys, that we're all doing this together. And the hundreds upon hundreds of lives that money has changed in the past 2 years, I wouldn't even know where to begin, because it's not just the young men at the property. It's all the other people in this gigantic circle of compassion that revolve around Forgotten Angels and around all of you guys and all the work you've done and with your donations and sacrifices you've made. And moving forward and setting this up so it can be across the country, not just here, you really can change the world with $25. You can. And that's us. That's all you guys that have done that. This ain't on CNN. This ain't on.
When I was working with Quentin, Big Mike from The Blind Side, we were asked to go and speak at an event for Susan G. Komen and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I said to Quentin, we'd love to do it. And Quentin was like, we'd love to do it. And then we found out that they have 16 executives that make in excess of $400,000 per year. 16. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. 16. I mean, how hard is it to give money away to people who have been destroyed by cancer, or whose families have lost everything because of bills and stuff like that? Like, it's not that hard to give away money,
How much do you make as the CEO of Forgotten Angels?
Oh, it's about $427,000 a year. I don't take a salary. I don't make anything for Forgotten Angels.
Yeah, I think you're at a pretty big net loss right now. You're doing very badly.
Well, I was fortunate enough to, most people know that I work with Danny Glover and Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side. They know that I played some sports. They know that I've done a lot of things. Growing up poor makes it a lot easier to want to hold on to what you've got when you finally get it, So, that's the way I lived. I've never been extravagant. I've never been, driving around in Porsches or Lamborghinis and stuff like that. So, I have been blessed, and so it's my goal to continue to be able to use the resources that are brought in for Forgotten Angels, and Cindy feels the same way. So we'll just continue to do what we can with what we have, and we'll continue to try and grow with the support of all the amazing people that support our mission.
That's all you guys. That's blows me away. All right, well, we'll give you guys 4 more minutes, which is 10 more minutes than I said. Then we're gonna pull a winner. So if you want to buy a raffle ticket, now is the time. And you can know that it does something amazing. Now you're a part of it too, Spite, sucker.
Hey man, rule 303.
What's that rule? Is that?
If you got the means at hand, you've got the responsibility to act. It started out as something kind of meh, as a lot of things often do, but it's been co-opted to basically mean if you can help in whatever little way you can, you should. And I'm happy to help whatever way I can, because
I'm just trying to get mission. Like 6 or 7 more suckers like you, and then I won't have to do nothing anymore.
Welcome aboard, Spite.
On the people who actually do it.
I still will take the credit, of course. I think that's its own work. The burden of credit, of the adoration, adulation. You know, I'll say I'll be your human shield for that.
Well, we'll keep the front row seats for you, Spite, for October. Has it been announced yet, Josh, who our entertainment is?
No. I'll let you do that.
No, go ahead.
So, among others, it's going to be his name just ran right out of my head, David, because this is hard for me to communicate like this. This is weird because I communicate through video all the time. Sorry, Michael Winslow. So Michael Winslow, if you guys are familiar with Police Academy, but even more recently, if you're obviously everyone will know him from Police Academy, the guy who made the noises, and from Spaceballs, and from a lot of other movies back in the 80s and 90s. But if you look him up on YouTube, he's had this gigantic, second career which was not even his second career. It was always his first career. He always did stand-up, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was always his thing, wasn't it, David?
Yeah, I saw Michael Winslow about 12 or 13 years ago do his gig at the Improv in Ybor.
Okay.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Like literally, everybody walked out. There was such a buzz when it was just incredible. Everybody, the applause was amazing. People were trying to get him to come back and do some more or something like that, but it was amazing. So it was like 12 or 13 years ago that I saw him. So I reached out, made a couple of phone calls. I got in touch with his agent, Roger Paul, who's a really cool dude. Michael Winslow used to be bullied. So when Roger found out that I used to do the anti-bullying foundation for Quentin Aaron, that sparked up a conversation, which led to what's the rate, which led to yeah right, which led to work with us, and then we found a number that made sense for both parties. He lives in Orlando, so we're going to send a car for him on October 28th on Saturday. I've asked Mike Calta to open for him. Mike Calta actually does stand up also, who's a huge supporter of Forgotten Angels. So we got to find someone to open for Mike. But it's going to be an amazing Saturday event on October 28th. Michael Winslow from Police Academy at Forgotten Angels.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
And if you're unfamiliar with him, just search him in YouTube. You'll find some clips from his stand-up. I think you can find his movie clips too, but his stand-up, which I have, because he had a couple clips that went like really viral on YouTube.
Yeah, if you Google Michael Winslow, Led Zeppelin. If you put in Michael Winslow and Led Zeppelin, you're going to find one of the most amazing clips of him using his voice to accompany this guy. I don't know who the guy was who was playing the guitar, but he was playing an acoustic guitar, A Whole Lot of Love, and then Michael Winslow did the electric guitar and the drums with his voice. It was insane. It's insane. You got to watch it. It's really cool.
Well, if you need help picking him up, I've got a windowless van that I can abduct.
Pick him up on the KLR, man. He can make the sounds of the police car, like in Harry and the Hendersons.
Make a sound that sounds cool on the KLR, because the KLR doesn't really make a very cool sound.
Yeah, you can make it sound like a real bike.
Yeah, like a Ducati. Oops.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the winner. I want everyone to feel really good right now. Everyone's done an absolutely amazing thing, and it's still a pretty damn good chance. So let's go ahead and give me a second here, and then we'll get the.
Oh my gosh, you
always
should
figure out how to
reach
do
out to
this.
Theo
Okay.
Vaughn. He's responded to us before.
The suspense is killing me.
Who's it gonna be?
Yeah, I already told the winner too. You can stay at Spite's house.
He'll make you breakfast.
Oh yeah, no, he's very, very kind. He'll take you out. He'll actually take a whole week off with you.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
You're gonna
Spite,
have my videos?
I'm half French, Spite. I'll send you a recipe for a crepe, man.
Dude, I've got a recipe for profiteroles. I'm very proud of how those turn out.
Pro what?
Profiteroles.
I'm Canadian. What the hell's a
cream
profiterole?
puffs with vanilla ice cream and chocolate on them.
Never heard of it.
That is worth a Google. If you enjoy French cuisine, right up there.
All right, so there's still the final one was not even three. It's not even a 1 in 300 chance. So let's do it.
Somebody's gonna win that big old barge back there and free up about half of my garage space. So-
Large garbage barge.
No, I am going to be sad when that leaves. I've had a lot of fun riding that thing around. As much as I goofed on it in the videos, I'm going to miss it. It's been a lot of fun to ride around. It's been an interesting experience riding a motorcycle that's older than me, and have it basically once we put the new battery in, it's run great.
Well, the ticket was bought. Let's see here. It's ticket number 2308.
Yes, the bike does come with Gorf.
Comes with a guard
yeah.
field.
He's currently zip tied to the handlebars because his suction cups weren't working so good. So
Yeah, I've seen Josh
maybe
almost
they need to be updated.
die multiple times trying to save Gorf.
So I don't want to even say where they live because I don't want people to be like, oh, it's me. I'm texting you the number right now, David.
Oh, I'm calling? Okay.
Or I guess I could just call. I'm like, I could call.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
call him.
Make sure I have it right here.
I don't want to call up the wrong person.
We did that before.
That's my job.
They should have bought it. It should be someone who bought it on the live stream.
Everybody make sure you got your phones on loud so you can hear it.
Yeah, and it'll be coming from an 813 number.
Should be someone who just, unless they're not watching live stream, they just happen to buy it.
No,
Probably
do
not.
Are you serious?
Howdy. What's up, Garrett? You are the proud new owner of a 1987 Goldwing Aspencade. The gypsy curse has once again been passed on. It's your problem now, sucker.
Dude, shit me.
I know, I'm not shitting you. I wouldn't shit you. You're my favorite turd.
Man. Swap those tickets.
You just bought. I was like, dude, they were not bought that long ago.
Just bought them. Holy shit, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, you're all right, dude. You're all good, motherfucker. You might get Spite in trouble with his mom if she hears these cusses, but whatever, man. Congratulations, my man. The only bummer about you winning, I'll say right now, is I just read here that you do live in Texas.
Oh wow.
But Texas is big, so you could still possibly have a long ride in front of you. I don't know where in Texas you live.
Oh man, yeah, I'm in South Texas, so it'd still be a little bit of a stroll.
Just take the long way home,
Absolutely.
Dude, that's so. Well, hey, man, congratulations. I want you to. This is something I always say, but I always say it because I mean it. It's not about winning. It's not about doing anything other than doing a good thing. And every once in a while, when you do the right thing, something good happens to you. And that not always, and not very often, but every once in a while, something good happens to you. Now, I don't know when that will be because it wasn't this time.
Yeah.
One man's blessing is another man's curse, right?
I just say that you're the next. You're on the Brotherhood of the Traveling Goldwing. You're its next stop, bud.
Oh man, I am so accustomed to having some janky shit, so this is right up.
Perfect, man. What's your screen name on here, Garrett?
Should just be Garrett Sharp.
Garrett Sharp. Have you commented at all, or you just been watching?
Yeah, I commented right after I purchased the tickets. I mean, dude, it was like 5 minutes ago.
No shit, that's awesome. Congratulations, Garrett.
It's funny.
I thought it was, like I said, when I saw that Tampa come through, I'm like, no, you got to be shitting me.
It comes with a brand new battery, $100 plus battery. Might as well be made of gold. If it was me, I would sell that battery, buy a used
That's
one.
probably half the value of the bike, though, right?
Yeah, no, sell it. You could probably get like $80 for that battery. It's like a $120 battery. Go buy one for $10, and then keep that money.
Got a warranty.
Got a warranty? Yeah, go return it. Get your money back. All your money. That's what I would do. But you can do whatever you want. It's your curse now. All right. Guaranteed to be fun. What do you ride now?
Got a 2007 BMW F650 GS.
Oh, this is the perfect addition to that, man, because they're both the same bike, yet so very far apart.
And anything, like you always say, anything's an adventure bike if you're having an adventure on it.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's so cool, man. We'll get together. We'll figure it out. If we can, when you go to pick it up in Austin, if we can come down there, we will, because we need to come out and hang out with Spite anyway. So we'll try to work it out like that. Hey, man, like I said, every once in a while, something good happens to you, and I really hope that day one day comes for you.
Hey, thank you. And I do want to go ahead and let y'all know I've been watching for a long time, and what you and David and his family and Shay and
It's all David. It's all David and Cindy.
Hey, you can't take yourself out of that. You may just be the big mouthpiece, but you know what? Sometimes
That's all. It's all us. So what I always say is this, and I appreciate it. All I do is talk about it. All Shay does is talk about it, right? David and Cindy do all the work, and then you guys come up with all the money. So if you talk about it too, if you tell one person, you've done just as much work as I have, or Shay has, or Spite has. We just happen to have a little bit louder voices. So I mean that. I'm not trying to play Mr. Humble here. So it's like if someone out there doesn't have the money to donate, but you can tell somebody about it, you're doing exactly as much work as I am. Because sometimes all it takes is the right word in the right ear. You tell someone about it, and it can change their life, or it can change somebody else's life. I really mean that.
Y'all are definitely doing a good thing.
I love you,
I
Garrett.
don't always know the right thing to do, but I trust that David and Cindy do.
They're doing well, for sure.
All right, bud. We'll catch up with you. We'll get it all set up. All right, man.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh, and all the guys, Dave, Cindy, Shay. Thank you guys very much for what you do. Spite, thank you very much for what y'all do.
I love you, Garrett.
First, though,
Thanks,
right?
Garrett, man. Appreciate you.
I mean, I was jealous.
All right, bud. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Once again, everybody who donated, you didn't donate to win. You donated to change somebody's life. You donated to change the world.
Yeah.
And everybody's donations are so much appreciated, and everyone should feel good about the sacrifice that they've made to change the world.
People are
I
still
really
donating
believe that.
right now.
That ain't just no bullshit. I believe
Yeah.
that.
People are still donating right now, so that actually puts them in line for the next raffle.
Put you in line for the next raffle, which I am currently. We have one of two bikes to choose from. One is in Tampa, and then the other one is on the back of a trailer that I'm currently pulling to Tampa right now. You'll find out on Sunday. This Sunday's video will release what the next giveaway bike is going to be. So either way, it's going to be a really good one. Both bikes are very, very cool. And of course, I want to keep them, but you can't keep everything. So
You freaking hoarder.
collector is the term I prefer.
Yeah, but she's right and you're wrong.
You think I've ever let being wrong
I like
stop
that.
me from doing anything?
I had to park my car on the road because there's too many bikes in your parking lot.
I love it. Dude. If
Sorry,
you
your
add up
collection
all of their
lot.
values- If you add up all of their values, it wouldn't be enough to buy you one brand new Sportster.
And out of that pile of bikes, I would reckon that if you put them all together, you might get one that runs.
I just need to go get a couple
Dog,
batteries and most of them.
Why would you say something like that? Why would you say something so controversial but so true?
Well, you know what? I'll send you a nice Duracell. There's just that way at least one of them will run for long enough for you to break it some other way.
Duracell.
No, thanks.
My
If you do
God,
that, I'm going
alright.
to sell it and
Frickin'.
I'm going to go buy different parts for my bike.
Freaking Jeffrey Bezos over here sailing away in his yacht with a Duracell battery. Wow. All right, freaking. What's the other rich guy? Fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. With Great Gatsby over here with his champagne parties and his Duracell batteries, brand new batteries with a warranty.
I get a discount because I know a guy.
Is it Elon Musk?
Yeah, I know a guy. Okay, you know my guy's got a tattoo on his face. Mm-hmm. My guy
does not have a tattoo on his face. You got me there.
Yeah. My guy, isn't allowed to own firearms, but he also has one because he's a cool guy.
And you know what?
There's language
He has
almost
the
there.
right to vote, though.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for this one. Shay's actually in charge of the live stream, so he actually has to end it. But
All right, guys.
Stay tuned. This Sunday we got videos coming out. The next raffle bike will be revealed, or hopefully, if I can get it home. It's currently everyone's thinks I have my videos planned out. Like I'll finish editing my videos usually an hour before they come out.
Dude, that
Is that
blows
how
my
you do it,
mind.
Spike?
No, my video for Sunday is not
How
done.
you ran it, just right up to the wire. No, I try to get my shit done 2 days before it goes live. I
Ooh, look
usually
at
end up-
me. I'm Spite.
Yeah,
I buy
man.
Duracell batteries and have my videos loaded 2 days before.
Man, gee, college boy, fancy over here.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe book learning did help me at least manage my time a little
Oh,
bit
you
better.
actually did go to college? What'd you go for?
You're gonna laugh, but actually film. That's why my videos look like shit.
That's what I went to school for. So technically we're both using our degrees.
Yeah, no, I completely stumbled dick first into a way to use my degree.
No, me too. Me too. I don't even have a dick and I did that.
You have your videos done in advance?
I tried to, yeah.
Teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are you trying to impress? Like,
the last video I did, I had done the day before, which is rare for me.
I'm trying to
Or
get
did
my
I
Sunday
have to?
video done, so